Field of spaceflight constantly brings us a plethora of interesting events, so it was not difficult to select 3 topics for another episode of our show. In all 3 cases, we will focus on events from the United States. Let's begin with the transfer of the giant mobile launch platform for the SLS rocket to the launch pad. In the second topic, we will look at the transport of the Psyche probe to a facility where its tanking will take place. After covering 2 topics from Florida, we will shift our attention to Texas, more specifically at the Starbase facility, where the preparations for the second integrated flight of the SuperHeavy continue. This is the mobile launch platform ML1, designated for the SLS rocket. It was from this platform that the first SLS rocket took off for the Artemis 1 mission in November of last year. The launch led to damage to some systems, and the platform had to be repaired. During the work near the Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB, repairs were needed for elevators and rainbirds, which release water beneath the engines during launch. The platform also underwent modifications for the upcoming Artemis 2 mission, during which a crew will be on board. The service tower, part of the platform, was equipped with systems for rapid crew evacuation from the launch pad. Testing also included the arm that the crew will use to board the Orion spacecraft. Since it's necessary to test all the modifications, the platform was moved to Launch Pad 39B. The legendary crawler transporter was responsible for the move, at a speed of 1.5 kilometers per hour. The transfer began on August 16th at 8:27 local time. The ML1 platform is truly colossal, weighing around 5,000 tons. Its base has dimensions of 48 by 40 by 8 meters. The service tower reaches a height of 105 meters, and if you prefer not to use elevators, you would need to climb 662 stairs to reach the top. On August 16th, the crawler transporter arrived at the perimeter fence of Launch Pad 39B, carrying the load on its back, where it spent the night. The following morning, it completed its journey to the launch pad from which the SLS rockets take off. The ML1 platform will spend several months there, filled with various tests. Among these tests, there will be a demonstration of launch day procedures with a crew and rehearsals of evacuation processes. Not only will the platform itself be tested, but also the launch pad equipment. For instance, the functionality of the new large hydrogen tank will be verified. Once the tests are completed, the ML1 will return to the VAB, where it will be used to assemble the SLS rocket for the Artemis 2 mission. The American Psyche probe, designed to study the metallic asteroid of the same name, is currently undergoing final pre-launch preparations. Inside Clean Room Number 1 at the Astrotech facility, it has undergone all necessary procedures. On August 14th, it was time to move it to a neighboring building. However, the space probe is a sensitive device that cannot be transported openly due to potential contamination by air impurities. To prevent this, the Psyche probe was moved from one building to another within a special protective structure acting as a clean room. The destination for the probe was Building 9, where the fueling process will take place. The process is much more complex than refueling your car. The difference lies in the fact that Psyche will have its propellant stored in 7 tanks, each with a capacity of about 83 liters. Another distinction lies in the propellant itself. Forget about gasoline or diesel. Over the following weeks, the Psyche probe will receive over a ton of xenon, a special gas that will power its ion thrusters. As ion thrusters are not yet commonplace, let's briefly explain how they work. The Psyche probe is equipped with large photovoltaic panels that convert solar energy into electricity. This electricity is essential for the operation of ion thrusters. These thrusters create an electric and magnetic field that accelerates charged particles, or ions, to high speeds. As a result, they are much more efficient than conventional engines operating on chemical principles, which burn fuel and oxidizer, or undergo the decomposition of monopropellant. However, every coin has 2 sides. The downside of ion thrusters is their low thrust. The Psyche probe is equipped with 4 ion thrusters that will operate one by one. The current plan suggests that the Falcon Heavy carrying the Psyche probe could launch on October 5th. On August 17th, there was a lot of activity in the assembly area of the Starbase facility. SpaceX technicians at the Mega Bay Hall were installing a special heat shield connected to a ring on top of the SuperHeavy B9 rocket. The openings in the ring, visible in the photos, will serve a specific purpose. The so-called hot staging will work as follows. First, all the engines on the SuperHeavy will be shut down, except for the 3 central ones. Subsequently, the 3 vacuum engines on the Starship will ignite, followed by the separation of the Starship from the SuperHeavy. Finally, the 3 atmospheric engines on the Starship will ignite. The openings in the top ring of the SuperHeavy will be used to channel the exhaust gases from the Starship's engines, while the 2 parts are still connected. While you observe footage from yesterday's test of the system that floods the launch pad with water during liftoff, we can introduce the next steps of the work. As for the launch date, clarity is still lacking. There is a maritime alert effective from August 31st, but it's more reasonable to anticipate a launch in September at the earliest. SpaceX still has a lot of work to do. SuperHeavy B9 will return to the launch pad next week, and it will undergo a spin prime test and a static fire test. The next step will involve the integration with Starship 25 and comprehensive testing of the entire assembly. Thank you for watching today's episode of Spaceflight News. Our show is now being released once every 3 days, so you can look forward to the next episode on Tuesday, August 22nd. And if you don't want to miss any episodes, you can simply subscribe.